Today is another update on our PPF journey. Angel just got back from a 2-day PPF training class at Chicago Auto Pros, and he basically gives us a rundown on how the training went, what he learned, the experience, and we talk more just in general about what we're doing with PPF and what we have going on. And if you are interested in starting your detailing business, maybe not offering PPF yet, but you want to start your detailing business, you can go to detailclass.com and I'll teach you the exact formula, the exact method that I used to grow our detailing business to over $10,000 per month. You can click the link in the show notes, or if you're on YouTube, you can click the link down in the description box, or go to detailclass.com to sign up for the free training. Other than that, sit back, relax, and let's get started with this episode. Welcome back to the Detailing Business Class podcast, where you'll learn proven tactics and strategies on sales, marketing, and operations to grow your business. I'm your host, Oscar Gill, and my goal is to elevate you as a detailer and business owner to the next level. And welcome back to a new episode. We have the gang once again, Mr. Angel Bautista from Handsome Detail, aka the rap specialist. Angel, the rap specialist.
The lead installer.
Coming soon. And then we have Mr. Lex Diaz from Lex Auto Detail. It's Lex Diaz if you want to follow his car content.
Appreciate it.
And the main topic of today is Angel is now back from Chicago Auto Pros, 2-day PPF training. And I told Lex specifically to not talk to Angel. That way we can have the conversation here on the podcast. That way we don't have the same conversation, then come over here and have the same conversation again.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Angel's experience, the pros and cons, and how he feels about it now. And then we'll kind of talk a bit more about how we've all the practice that we've been doing has helped what he just went through. But first, me and Lex we have a full shot here, except we're going to take half of one right now. And right. Angel's going to take a shot of water. This is Espolón. What is that?
Tequila.
This is vodka.
Some good water. Okay.
H2O.
This is going to be half the shot.
Half?
Half. Delicious.
Water.
All right, so
Yeah, I almost took the whole thing.
Angel,
Yo.
you went. So first, we are going to go with the PPF from Optical, which is from Car Supplies Warehouse / Chicago Auto Pros. With that, we also get a free or 2 free training sessions through them. Something like that. So we sent Angel to go get trained by Chicago Auto Pro. So off the riff, Angel, you want to take it away here and just kind of let us know how it went, your thoughts, how'd you go going into the training, how'd you feel coming back from the training? Just break it down for us, however long, however short.
Alrighty. Well, I arrived to Chicago very, very nervous. I did not know what to expect at all. The first day I just arrived and I just got to the hotel and I was just watching videos on PPF. I was like, let me try to get as much as I can. So I was just in the hotel room, just watching PPF videos, getting in as much.
That was Thursday because training was Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. Oh, you got there Wednesday.
I got there on Wednesday, yeah. So I just started watching videos, and it was kind of funny because as I'm watching the videos, like, funny, I'm about to see these people tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
was it kind of surreal? Like, because some people kind of have that with Detail Groove of like they watch my videos and like, oh crap, like you're here in person now.
For sure.
You're gonna feel like I was watching on YouTube. Now I'm here in person.
I mean, for me it was, but it was like obviously no one really showed it because it's like you kind of just get there. And it's like you get straight to work.
Yeah.
But you do introduce yourself like, hey, what's up to people. The people training us were Eman and Jesus.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
Emmanuel is the one with the beard, right?
Eman, yeah.
The one that's always doing the PPF.
Yeah, he's like.
Who's the other one?
He's the main guy. And then the other guy is Jesus.
Hey, does he come on the videos?
I believe so, but I think he's new.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
I think, because I think I've only seen Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be the most known one on the channel for sure.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, so I arrived to their location in Chicago, the Lombard location, because they have 3, I believe. One is like a detail or whatever. But yeah, I arrived. I was nervous. I was very, very nervous walking through the doors.
Were you nervous in terms of like you thought everyone was gonna be more experienced than you, or just because you're going to a new place in a new city, just not knowing people?
Dude, just in general, like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk through the door, and then I was sitting outside of the thing. I was trying to see if people maybe would show up. I was like, where the people at? Like, I don't want to be the only one walking in there. And so yeah, I was like, all right, let's just go anywhere. We're here to do. That's when I called you. And I was like, hey, I'm about to go inside. But yeah, so I just walked in through the doors, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's just like the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I saw the front guys, and I didn't say anything. I don't know the guy's name at the front desk, but he just looked at me and he's like, PPF training. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. PPF training.
You're like, definitely not a customer.
He was like, yeah, PPF training. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Just follow me. We went through the kitchen. They have a kitchen, and the door to the kitchen goes straight into the shop. And yeah, so he just walks me in through the front, and you walk into the shop, and he's like, it's gonna be all the way at that corner over there. And I was like, all right, cool. And yeah, I just walk into the shop, bro, and dude, it's crazy the production they have or the operations they have there. They had like 16 cars in the shop, like at least. A lot of cool cars. They had like. I walked by, there was like 3 corrections going on. They were washing like 2 cars over here. And then they had a clean room with like a separate area of the shop, which they had like a Bugatti Chiron in there that we couldn't take pictures of. But it was pretty cool in their clean room. And yeah, and I'm walking to the corner area where I see like some students, and they're all like huddled up with like E-Man and Jesus. And I was like, oh, all right, well, here we go. I kind of just showed up, and I just looked at everybody. I was like, what's up, guys? And he's like, oh, you man, you're here for the PPF training? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, cool. So he introduced himself. I was like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah. One of the guys recognized the shirt. I was wearing a weird shirt, and he was like, oh, you work there? I was like, yeah. With Oscar, I was like, yeah. And everyone kind of knew the shirt I was wearing. It's kind of weird shirt.
Everyone already knew who you were.
He's talking about the company shirt, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, like yeah, man, yeah, it's cool. So we just got into it. We were talking like about them. I believe the guy that recognized the shirt, he was a business owner himself from Louisiana.
The other student,
yeah. I think they're primarily like a mobile detailing service, so they're also getting into it. And then this other guy, I forgot. Oh, Christian was his name. Shout out Christian.
No disrespect, Christian. Yeah, no disrespect.
Shout out Christian if you're watching. We met. He works at All About Detail right there in Illinois,
in Chicago.
Sandwich, something. That's what there's. It's like a smaller.
Wait, it's right there in Chicago. It is in Chicago.
Yeah. I was working with him a lot too, as far as like on the vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, because it was only 4 of y'all, right?
So it was only 4. Which
how's that class size? It was good.
Yeah, I think more would have just been too overwhelming. Even and Jesus said the same thing. It was like, y'all, this is good. Y'all are lucky because this is a more intimate class. So we get more one-on-one with y'all. When we usually, last class, we had like 8 people. It's really hard to get everyone hands-on a vehicle when you're teaching 8 people.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could only imagine.
How many people were there?
4.
So
just
that's a good class size.
Yeah. So it was perfect. We got time to do a lot. So yeah, they run us through it, and dude, we just got straight into it. Like there was really no. They gave us kits. Each of us, they gave each of us a kit. It had everything you needed. It had a squeegee. It had like a light, blade, everything.
Which is crazy because that's still all you need.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with vinyl is like all you need is the squeegee, the knife. You didn't even use knife play safe there. So you just a squeegee, the knife, e-gun.
Yeah,
for
the edges.
The pouch itself, like the bag to carry everything.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
A glove.
That's it, yeah.
Not even a glove. Nah, you don't use gloves right? Yeah. Nah.
No glove, yeah.
Mine is the film, obviously. That's going to be the big... But as far as the actual tools, like, it's so minimal.
Yeah. So they gave us the kit, and then they started asking us some questions. E-Man asked me, are any of y'all experienced with PPF? Because Christian, he actually was. His whole shop, his boss sent them all out, and he came back again just to master like his skills and stuff. He wanted to practice a lot of cutting. So this was his second time there. Second or third time. I don't remember. But he had already been here. And he was like, yeah, man. So he was already more experienced, at least with like hands-on. I was like, I've never touched PPF, but I was like, I have a lot of practice with vinyl. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of similarities here. And for sure there was.
There was.
100%.
Did they say anything about that though? When you said you practice vinyl?
No, they didn't say anything. They were like, but that's good. It's a lot of it is will apply
Because they do vinyl there too, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like film experts them too. So yeah. But yeah, I just mentioned that to them. Like, yeah, I've practiced with a lot of vinyl. This is my first time actually touching PPF. Like, I've done like a very, very small trunk section on a
that's right.
customer's
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah.
Once you did the PPF training, did you think back to that PPF to the McCann?
Yeah, and now that I think about it, if I would have known that, bro, I would have done the McCann so easily.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, where did we mess up? What would you have done differently?
Well, we just don't have like the proper tools, so it's so much easier if you have like the keg. We were using like a spray, which is fine, but I didn't even know like about tack solution.
I think at that time we didn't do that many vinyls at that point either.
Nah, for sure not. But like now that I look back, we didn't even like use tack.
What's that?
Tack. That's like IPA. It's used for PPF, like on corners and edges and stuff, which would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, like 100%. Hey, but it's still on Martin's McCann.
I think it
Still on.
is. You can't even see it. It's there.
We went last time.
So good.
Seamless install.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
amazing.
It was good.
But yeah, they went ahead. They got straight into it. They explained to us the difference between a slip solution and tack. I was like, okay, cool. So slip is what we use to install. It's like that's what's in the keg. That's what you're spraying under your. That's what you spray on your surface. That's what you spray on your film whenever you go to lay it on. They explained to us how important it is to have a clean shop. They were like, yeah, when y'all get back, I recommend y'all clean y'all shop, blow it out before you install. Squeegee out your panel that you're gonna work on. Spray the air with soap and water. Like, if you want to have a clean install, like cleanliness is important. For sure.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
why they have like a clean room.
Yeah,
where they will only work PPF.
Yeah, because same thing with the times that we've done vinyl. It's like we look at those little dots on there, we're like, was that there or is that? And then us like we're grabbing all these different things, like putting our hand underneath it, like, all right, there's debris in there for sure. Like, so yeah, that is punctual. That's why I think one of the biggest points that you told me earlier was like when I think it was E-Man that showed. Did they call him that?
Mm-hmm.
E-Man. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had just made up that nickname for him.
No, they call him.
I don't know if the thing is, I think he said it where it's like you can not like detailing and still do it, but you can't not like PPF or vinyl and still do it.
Yeah, he mentioned that,
and I was like, that's and it's in line with like everything else that I said. Like detailing is pretty easy versus other things other things like PPF or vinyl. It's like like it's nowhere near as simple as that.
On one of the lessons where he was teaching, he did mention that he said kind of what you just said. He said PPF is one of those things where it's like you kind of have to want to do it because everything has to come out perfect. So it's like it's not something that you can half-ass or not want to do or dread it because it is gonna be challenging. It's not like okay, I'll just knock it out because I have to.
Yeah. It's like going into like becoming a neurosurgeon. It's like you gotta want to do that because it's the most like painstakingly crazy, tedious, super, and it's like the terrible example. It's like you get the point. Like,
no, 100%.
Like
especially like
you have to want to do that. Like you have to want to be able to get,
if you're doing a front bumper in multiple sections with PPF, it's definitely not something that anyone can just do.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta have to want to do it and learn. And
and I'll just jump straight into the next question that everyone's going to be wondering too. Is like going into it. Did you think? Because I think you said beforehand that you said PPF is going to be more difficult to install versus vinyl wrapping. Mm-hmm. Going into it, did you think PPF was more difficult or vinyl was more difficult? And then coming out of it, which one do you think is still more difficult?
All right.
So going into it, which did you think was more difficult?
So going into it, I thought PPF was more difficult. And when I left there, I now think vinyl is more difficult.
Yeah.
Because the amount that we were able to do or the things that I was doing with PPF, I definitely wasn't doing on my very first install on vinyl at all. But that also could be because I've worked so much on vinyl. Yeah,
but I would say as a whole though, like even like for instance, like with vinyl, it's like okay, first step is like for sure on the clean room place is like that's equal for both. It has to be clean room, right? But the second is like even laying vinyl down, it's like glass it out, like get as many wrinkles or whatever. Like you want to glass it as good as you can. And PPF is like they don't even talk about like that's not even a thing as far as because it's gonna lay down flat.
Yeah.
Like I guess because it's such a thicker film and because vinyl is nowhere near as thick as PPF. That's like it's gonna lay down as is. Like it's gonna be like.
It just depends if you're gonna do bulk or kit. But yeah, PPF will require some stretch in some areas, but nothing too crazy. Nothing like vinyl where you really can just stretch it out, give it that contour of the shape. PPF will not require that.
Yeah, because I even remember like looking at all the PPF videos and then looking at all the vinyl videos. It's like with vinyl, it's a lot more like finessing the film to squeegee it out, the wrinkles, bubbles, fingers, whatever, like laying it down. And then anytime I've ever seen PPF being laid down, it's like it's straight like obviously spray your solution. And then it's like, okay, it's on the surface, and it's like, okay, squeegee everything out, like just start squeegeeing, and it's obviously because it's a 9mm film thick, and it's like it's meant for that. Like you can like get after it and like get it on there. So I think after you said that too, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense actually. Like not saying PPF is easy. I'm just saying like it's easier than vinyl wrapping.
Yes.
And both vinyl wrap. So I would say from easiest to hardest, it'd be detailing. But paint correction and ceramic coating is still far easier than I would say detailing. Easiest to hardest is for me, and then I'll tell you next, and then you haven't done much, but I'll give you. So easiest to hardest, I'd say detailing. Not that we've done PPF, but based on what you said and based on how I interpreted that, I'd say detailing, PPF, vinyl, right? And even paint correction ceramic. Like even if you want to break it down to just paint correction and ceramic coating, it'd be paint correction ceramic coatings, PPF. Vinyl, as far as easiest to most difficult. Would you agree with that? Or
100%. Yeah.
Next?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I always thought PPF was gonna be easier than vinyl.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that too. He did say that too.
It just looked easier.
I think you were right about that one for sure. But also though, it just depends because they're both gonna be difficult in their own ways.
Yeah, for sure. In their own in their own ways, whatever. Like there's gonna be a bit more nuance here or there versus the other one.
But I think Imam is just like a master that he made it look so easy. Dude.
Yeah.
Like he...
do you think it would be easier to PPF a front bumper or vinyl wrap it?
Probably PPF.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm saying it's still going to be super hard.
Yeah,
but
for sure. It's like it's just slightly easier.
But I told Oscar on the phone, I think a master at PPF will work faster than a master at vinyl. For sure.
I mean, because we've seen it. I mean, even with like CK Raps or Jay the Rap of like
they're all masters, but they still take the time. It takes much longer to lay down vinyl than it does PPF.
Especially on like on a front bumper because like, and you have to get full coverage of it. So like that means like disassembling. You have to disassemble more on the vinyl to get like legit full coverage. Like you can tuck it in and such, and it might be a little shady here and there. But with PPF, like you can get away with like not.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you don't wrap the edges in PPF.
Some of them you will. But if you're using kits or if you're doing bulk installs, and some of them you'll want to cut close to body lines.
Yeah. Versus like vinyl where like almost everything should be tucked.
Yeah.
So
on every panel.
Yeah. So I think it just depends. But yeah, E-Man did like a hood in 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah. On like in some of the PPF.
Mm-hmm. He did like a fender in like 2 minutes.
Like done?
Well, he just had to cut.
Was it bulk or is it
bulk? We practice all bulk because
none
of us have plotters.
Did you see the photo that I sent you? The screenshot of the
of the message?
Yeah,
of what people were saying.
But that one dude, he said that they bulk mostly everything.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna depend what vehicle you're working on.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, when we're saying bulk, it means you're taking the whole film. Break it down. What's plotter versus bulk, Angel?
Yes. So a plotter is basically just gonna give you a pre-cut kit that's already designed by someone on like a software that you will have. So it's literally gonna be meant to fit the shape of the panel, not perfectly. There will be a little bit of space between the body line, unless you have like a really really good kit, which in most cases kits won't align perfectly. But it also depends on the vehicle. And then bulk is gonna be like just like your typical vinyl. You measure out your panel, you measure out your film. And you lay it down, squeegee it out, and then you cut your corners and tuck, or just cut on body lines. Yeah,
because on the like this guy that also has a PPF shop, he does mostly bulk. I think he said mostly he bulks everything. I think most of the things he bulks. But then if I look at the if I go back to the poll, let's see if it's still there. If I go back, 91%, 62% of the people that voted say yes, they use a plotter, and then 38% said no. But I would say, I guess it depends on like the quality that you're trying to do. Because if you try to go plotter wise, like a template or whatever it's called, a kit, like if it's not good but you still use it because you don't have to like, because it seems very like pretty. If someone doesn't want to risk or have the skill to do straight cuts on a bulk, of course they want to go with the kit and just leave it at that, Yeah. So I can see why people would go with plotters.
I mean, both are great. It just depends on what kind of business you're running and what kind of work you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Starting off, like the first however many clients we get for PPF, we're doing bulk. Like no question, like whatever. I don't care. Like we're gonna do bulk.
Yeah, and they even showed us a couple tips because most of us are gonna be bulking except for Christian in the class. His company has a plotter, but they already have a bunch of leads. They already have customers for it.
Yeah, so and the one that we looked at, it was like 6,000, right? The plotter.
Yeah, starting off the Graph Tech, which is the most common one, I believe.
Is it? And then you said the software is like $500 a month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just depending on which one you're using. So, yeah, I think when it comes to that, it just depends. Also depends on what kind of kit you're trying to use. They did mention that newer kits are going to be way better because the technology is just way better. Older kits, you probably will be able to find kits for older vehicles, but they're probably not going to be that great.
Yeah.
So it just depends, really.
Okay, so what were some key takeaways? Like, what? Give me like a one, like, oh snap, like where they kind of just like clicked in your head, like what was one of those moments? All right, real quick,
that was a very crispy snap.
I'm good at stepping. Yeah, my snaps are good.
It was good.
And I have crispy snaps. People have always told me that, like, snap, they're like, whoa, that was like a like a bell. Yeah,
ASMR.
Yeah. I'm like. All right, Lex and I and Angel will take the second part of the shot.
Cheers.
What was the next question?
Big takeaway.
Oh, right. So give me a big takeaway that you're there and you're like, that's what I needed right there. Amongst everything else you learned, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I took advantage of this class. I told Eman, I asked him hundreds of questions. Shout out to him. He was really kind enough to tell me like a lot of things. I even asked him about the plotter software, how much it costs. Like, bro, I got with him one-on-one. I asked him a lot of questions, and shout out to him. He gave me a lot of feedback. I took away a lot, but one thing that I went in there wanting to know a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably something I could have found on YouTube, but I just didn't find it. And he showed it to me, and I'm grateful. It was cool. Was corners. I had always sucked at corners. The corners on my dad's car was sucked. I'm trying to peel the vinyl under, get a good stretch, and then cut under. But I just always have fingers lifting up. So I really wanted to know corners. And I was like, hey, man, can you teach me a way to do like some real efficient, nice corners? He's like, yeah, dude, I got you. We did on the hood. We lifted up the hood. And he's like, yeah, so how I do my corners, by the way, this guy makes everything look so easy, like effortless. He just taught me to get real close to the corner and cut around like the curve and then just cut outwards. So that way, whenever I want to heat up my film, the film is already really close to the edge. It's just going to shrink around the corner, and then the rest is just peeled. It's just peel it, just fold it over like how I would. And I was like, damn. I was like, so that's how you do that. I was like,
you're like, all right, well, that's it. I'm leaving. I thought I needed it.
Going back to Houston.
I was like, so that's how you do that. Like that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I was like,
and that's the thing. Like when you go to train like that, it's like you'll learn a lot, but like you're only looking for like 2 or 3 key pieces of information where it's like, oh, that's what I needed to bridge the thing. Like I needed that one piece of information.
And I was like, okay, so that's how you do that. I was like, this entire time I've been trying. I'm surprised I can't find it on YouTube, dude. I'm sure if I look it up now, I will find it.
You know what to search for and stuff. Yeah.
But it's like, damn, okay. I kind of felt kind of dumb, not gonna lie. I was like, okay, and
then another key point to all this, because you were probably one of the more, minus the other guy, you're like one of the more experienced ones, right?
I'd say so. Yeah. They gave me a lot of compliments on some of my work. But yeah, I'd say that I felt pretty comfortable with the film and stuff.
Yeah. So the good thing about that is that like even though it's not like we've been doing a lot of vinyl wraps. That it's not PPF, and there's some differences for sure. But like a lot of that did bleed over to like, oh, okay, you already understand the concept of like what's what. Like you weren't like, it's different if that was your first time ever installing something versus all the training and practice that we already had.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, that corner. I was like, wow. I told him, I was like, that's a really good way to do corners. He's like, yeah, man, I would even do that corner for vinyl. And I was like, dope. That's how I'm doing corners now.
You're like, got it.
I was like,
Done
all right,
deal. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah,
Like,
so and that's good. Like even you and I were talking about it on the phone a few days ago. Of like, yeah, if we want to get better, if we want to master the craft of vinyl or PPF, is like we got to up the training. Like we got to up the session that we're doing, because one panel on a Monday just isn't enough. Like we have to get far more repetitive, far more skill, far more reps, far more experience.
100%.
To really increase that level of confidence and
Yeah.
such.
100
What film did they use?
Optical.
There's
That's
Optical.
the one.
That's
Okay.
the one.
yeah, they're using theirs. Yeah, now they're using theirs. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's the one. So we won't be able to practice PPF because it won't come to like another month or so. So we'll still be just practicing vinyl. But even then, did some of that information transfer over to vinyl?
Yes, dude, 100%. Even the technique for the squeegee is gonna be a bit different. You wouldn't use, it's a different squeegee too, so it really wouldn't cross over into like vinyl, because some of the strokes that you would do in PPF you probably wouldn't be able to do with vinyl due to tension. But one thing I did learn was you have to get creative sometimes, and what I mean by that is, E-Man was teaching us how to do a mirror, and he was like, this is a very difficult mirror for himself. He's like, I've done this 1,000 times, so I know what to do. And the mirror, he also did mention that the inside of the mirror, typically he will leave it unprotected, but he's like, even if I'm doing that, it's like, if you're trying to prevent rock chips, let's be honest, no rocks are going to hit the inside of this mirror. If they're going to bounce off of the hood, they're going to go into the sides. So he's like, so that would be okay. But he did do a mirror though, where he did show us how to cover up that, and that was like ridiculous. Like that,
As far as being difficult.
yeah, he said like, this is like, dude, this is some like next level. This is some advanced stuff right here.
Good catch on not cussing. You're about to
Yeah.
cuss right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard the cuss coming out.
He like,
Before the episode, I said, Angel, don't cuss, bro. We gotta keep it family friendly over here.
he like, yeah, he basically lined up. He used like a separate film for the inside, and he lined it. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that, like witchcraft. But he did teach us a mirror, and then I'm just looking at this mirror, and I already don't comprehend how film is gonna wrap around this mirror.
Yeah.
Because there's like plastic trim on the bottom. There's a bulb going through the middle of the mirror, which that, and I'm like, what? Like I want to see, like, show me. Like, I want to see this. Like, I want to see this in front of my eyes. How he's gonna do this? He starts wrapping the mirror, and he gives it a pretty good stretch. Nothing crazy either, because you will make the film thinner. That is one thing he did tell us. He's like, if you're stretching the mess out of some film, he's like, this will go from 8 millimeters to like 5.
Yeah.
He's like, so we want to be careful about how much stretch we're putting in our film. Stretch is good, just tack it down and it will stay. I saw how he started to do the mirror, and this bulb is in the way, and I'm really just thinking to myself, dude, no way this guy, like, how is he gonna do that? Like I'm doubting him. Like, there's no way. And dude, he started doing like, he did a release cut up here. He did a release cut like on the bulb in order to get the film to lay down. He like maneuvered the film, and I was like, dude, I wouldn't have thought to even cut there, as a release cut. And I was like, dude, like that makes so much sense. So one thing I did learn is to just read the film. Like, the film tells you what it wants to do, and it's like, okay, like it made so much sense when I saw how he did that. How he just like, he put like a release cut at the top, and then the film laid down over there, and then he did a release cut like right on the bulb, and then there was no more tension on the film, and he was able to tack it down, and I was like, okay,
and stuff like that. Like, it's those things where like we wouldn't have learned as quickly if we just kept on watching like YouTube videos or like seeing that in person, seeing someone do it. It's like, oh, it's, you literally just do that. Like, I see what he did there. Yeah. And that's what like really like that's what shortens the learning curve of like newbie to pro or newbie to master or pro to master. It's like those shortcuts that we take. So that it, like with and like I said, like I don't really care much about training, but when it's actually useful and such, like if I sent any of us to go get trained on detailing or paint correction at this point, it's like, what are we doing? Not that it's bad, but like at the level that we are at now, it's like, what are we doing? But for PPF and vinyl, it's like there's always like there's you know what I'm saying. It just requires a bit more skill and a bit more like there's a bit more finessing to be done. So I'm saying like it's cool to like yes, like those are the things that like we just jumped like 7 steps in the learning process because of that.
For sure. If anybody is wanting to get into like PPF,
Angel's gonna be doing training here soon. So just hit us up. Well, because that's one thing you said, right? Like you're like, man, that'd be so cool to teach.
Yeah.
Not now. That's not in the cards right now. But I'm saying like because the struggle that you went through and like.
Yeah.
And what you're like, how do you do it? It's like you want to pass on that information to others as well. Yeah.
If I become an expert, I'd be really down.
When?
When you become
I become an expert, I'd be really down to teach.
Yeah,
it.
because you understand, like, I remember when I didn't know, and I want to make sure people it's like if that's also a big thing to me too of like teaching. Like I love to teach and I love to show and educate people. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we have that we wrap like now that we're gonna go get back to wrapping vehicles like vinyl and such. Without like you just got back today?
Yeah, today, like a couple hours ago.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
dang. 12 today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang.
What time is it right now?
Almost 4.
So like 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I guess that right.
So even without wrapping another hood or nothing, it's like, do you already feel like, oh yeah, for sure, I'm confident. Like I leveled up, even if you haven't like. Well, actually, you did do something because you practiced hands-on over there. But now it's like when we're gonna wrap the door on the HHR or something, it's like, oh, for sure, I got more confidence. I leveled up from last time.
100%. Like I can already see myself. Like I'm already thinking to some of the panels that we wrapped, and I'm like, damn, we're kind of dumb. Like why didn't I do that? Something so easy that, well, we used to do, but now it's like I'm gonna start doing that all the time. Is extra play and excess makes your life way harder.
You don't need that much.
You don't need it. Like sure, whenever you're measuring out your panel, you can have extra. That's fine. Cut it out. Like lay it down. Cut it out.
So we should have been that. Remember all the times we're like, should we cut this? And you're like, no, I don't want to because like, what if we need it and you when we leave it there?
Yeah, but now I realize all that play and excess, if it's sticking to other panels or it's interfering with you, it's just gonna make life way harder.
Is that what they told you?
For sure.
Like for PPF?
Yeah. So if you can, you just rough cut it as closest to the panel as possible, and then do your clean cut at the end. But 100%, any extra
because it's like extra tension, extra like fingers come about because you're like it's just too much extra film on the panels.
100%. I think that's just gonna depend on what panel.
But
you're
that makes
on.
sense. Yeah, because I even remember like some of the videos. I'm like, you even seem like, do we cut this? Like, that's a lot of film. Should we cut it? And you're like, you even bring out the knife and you're like, nah, I don't want to. Let's just in case or whatever.
Yeah.
And we leave it there now. Yeah,
but now it's like
just
we don't need it.
We're gonna boot it out.
We don't.
Remember, we had a lot of extra film when we were doing my roof.
Yeah,
I think it was like halfway through the rear windshield.
Which we have gotten better at it though, because all the panels we've done on the HHR, even when I cut out like the the fender and everything, the scrap was so minimal.
For sure.
I had it all in my hands. Like this is the scrap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do vividly see the difference between like our first one. It's like yay much on every panel. We're like, no, we need some excess just in case.
Yeah, but now it's way better, and it's literally just measure it out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, also, just get a table. And cut it on the table. That's
we need to get that too.
Yeah,
well, just tables. Yeah, like regular ass tables.
That's what they were doing. They were like, I recommend. That's one of the first things they told us. I recommend y'all get some tables. Just buy some tables.
Just buy some tables. And by tables, they mean like those regular foldable plastic tables, and you cut on there.
Yeah, like if you're doing,
because that's what they do with tin as well.
Just get some tables. I mean, if you don't have a plotter, that's gonna be the move. 100%.
Yeah.
Just roll your film out, measure your panel, cut it.
Now, let me ask you, like, because you went to Chicago Auto Pros, and I don't know why I'm saying it like that. You went to Chicago Auto Pros, and,
Cap.
Clearly, Cap, you clearly saw a much bigger operation with a bunch of vehicles and employees and size and offices and staff and everything. Did that inspire you, motivate you in any way? And if so, how did that impact you?
Yeah, 1,000%. It
like when you walked through the kitchen and you went to the shop, you're like, oh dang, this is different.
Yeah, like this is pretty cool. Like the kitchen, like they have a kitchen there, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's dope. Like
and how big was their gym?
No gym. Hey, no gym.
Nah, just kidding.
But that's funny. Yeah, no gym.
Let me know everyone's PR right now. I'm just kidding.
No, but was it
Dude, yeah, it's cool, man. Like they have like a retail section in the front. It kind of, it feels like you walk into like a retail store. It feels like like it's kind of like typically when you go to like shops, you kind of just go or you'll drop your car off and stuff. But theirs is like you go in like waiting area. They have a TV. You can sit down. They have people at the front desk. They explain you all the info, what you want to get done. You drop off your vehicle. They let the customers walk in the shop, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I could see that being a cool thing to do.
That would be dope because if I was a customer and I walk into that shop and I see everything they got going on, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I brought my car to the right place.
Yeah.
100%. So that's pretty cool, too.
Some dealerships do that, like BMW.
Yeah.
I think they let you see everybody working. So
that was dope. Yeah. And also, everyone it's just like, they're doing their thing, bro. Like, everyone's just, it's like, I don't know, maybe like.
Sorry to cut you off. Did it give you some, when you saw all that, did it kind of open up your mind to new possibilities or new opportunities or whatever?
100%. I was like, dude, like this is like if I dedicate myself to like really become an expert and like I can allow all these jobs to come in and we can just start hitting much higher revenue. I can just imagine the operations we can start to run here.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's like, that would be awesome if we could get to like a point like maybe not like them, but you know, or why not, right?
Yeah. Or bigger.
Well, because some people don't want to grow that big. Yeah. You know, that's like a whole other level. Like retail store, you're talking like multiple locations. Sometimes it is better to stay a little smaller, you know. But yeah, dude, like it just made me think like, dude, if I become like an expert at this, and like we can start having like these high ticket items come in the shop, and I can roll them out in like a day or two, just get real good and master it, and we'll all reap the benefits. Everything will be way better. You know?
And that's an important thing too. Like, it's always good to like get yourself out of the comfort zone because you were a little nervous going there, but not even that. It's not even out of your comfort zone, but like surrounding yourself with people that are doing bigger things than you are. Because like it would have been different if you would have gone to someone's home garage where that's where you trained because they do PPF or vinyl out of their home versus going to somewhere like Chicago Auto Pros where it's like, oh, this is different. You know, like it's just good to get inspired to see like it just open up your mind of like, okay, well they did it, and you know like they probably had some problems, like, whatever. Like it just gets you thinking in a different manner. Like
100%.
It just helps you like, oh, maybe there is a bigger way for me to think. You know, and instead of just saying like, oh, like it's a difference between going to, it really like that's what like. By the people you hang out with, the people you listen to, the people you talk to, the people that like your circle of influence plays a big role in like what you think you're able to achieve. Yeah. That's cool that you do that away. And also another point too is that like a big thing that people are saying is like if Angel goes to get trained, he'll leave your shop within a year. He'll not come back. He'll go start his own thing. Which from day one I've always told you like at some point you're gonna leave. At some point you're gonna go and do your full thing. Of course, like I don't want you to stay here as long as you can. I do everything to keep you here as long as you can. But the reality is at some point in life, over the next call it 30 years, you'll probably leave.
Didn't you get offered?
Yeah. Oh, right. He got offered a job over there. Didn't you? Because you're so good,
Angel.
No.
That's what they said.
Yeah. No, but what I'm getting at here, circling all that around, what I'm getting at though is based on like people say like, hey, you might leave. But the thing is, it's one of those things where like if someone is passionate and motivated and inspired as you were with Chicago Auto Pros, right? And you come back here and let's say we don't follow through with getting clients. We don't go and like actually try to push on new services. We don't try and grow. We don't do anything that we said we were. Then it's not Angel's fault for wanting to leave if we did not uphold the word that we said that we're going to keep on growing, right? So it's like it's one of the things where like, man, like I want to do this so bad, but where I'm at, they're limiting my growth. They're limiting the opportunities because they don't want to grow. So if you come here and I'm like, let's say I'm always thinking bigger, right? And I'm always saying, and you're saying, oh, we need one client a week, and I'm like, we need 3 clients a week or whatever. If I have bigger goals, you'll always be like, oh, he's always trying to grow. But if that role flips and you have bigger goals and I'm not able to match your goals, then you'll say, oh, well, I'm not really growing over there. Like I've outgrown them. Yeah. And that's at the point where it's like, well, it kind of makes sense for me to start my own thing. So I'm saying like to everyone that said like, oh, he's going to leave, like at some point, just naturally, he's going to leave. Whether it's in 6 months or in 60 years, it doesn't matter. At some point he'll leave. But what I'm saying though is that for people that want to retain employees or whatever, it's like, it's like saying E-Man. How long has he been there? Like It's a great place. They give him a bunch of opportunities. I mean, I don't know. I've only talked to the dude literally once through email. But what I'm saying is like, literally, like in any industry with any profession, and like in any like lawyers, dentists, chiropractors, physical therapists, everyone can always leave and start their own thing. But if they're at a place where they're like, man, there's always growth, there's always opportunity, they're always growing, they're always pushing. Oh man, so cool. Oh, I'm trying this. Oh, I'm flying over here. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, and there's always new opportunities to have in that position or in that facility. It's like you want to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I mean, ever since I showed up here and I started working here, a lot of opportunities have arrived. This being one of them, and I can definitely see myself growing as far as like just as a person, as a human being. My skill level with PPF and vinyl, just becoming a master at it, which I have the opportunity to do that here. It's like, I mean, if we were to get to like a level like that, and you know, we start running like an operation like that, where it's like 2-3 vehicles a day, PPF and vinyl, full wraps on like cars. I mean, I'm very incentivized to stay. Like it just wouldn't make sense for me to leave. And if we're doing like great things like that, like on YouTube, social media,
that's what I'm. Yeah,
I don't see why we wouldn't work.
Yeah,
forever.
Yeah,
if we're doing amazing things like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's always like it's always pushing forward. It's always like it's the same reason why like at other companies, like it's like someone wants to leave and it's like, hey, why do you want to leave? It's like, well, I've been doing the same thing over and over. It's like I need a new challenge. Like I need something to like push me again because I have. And that's why like a lot of places like lose their employees is because like I'm doing the same thing here. Like there's no new challenge. And like my brain is getting stimulated. But yeah, it's like I'm doing the same thing. It's like I need a new challenge. So like I said, like if we just kept on doing interior cleanings and whatever for the next 10 years, like I don't just have to like for me now too, because I've been doing it 10 years now or like 12, 13 years now. So it's like at some point it's like, all right, you need to change like something like, you know, especially for me, it's like I've been doing the same thing for so many years. Like it's time for a change for sure. And like on a personal level, like it's like it kind of adds some fuel to the fire of like, oh, new information, oh, new stuff, oh, new services, oh, new pricing, oh, new customers. Like it's like, oh, cool. Like I you know, like switch it up. Like which is why we're doing the products, which is why like new content, new channels, because like okay, bro, like, I've been running YouTube groups since 2015. Like let's just switch it up. Let's add another channel there just to try things out.
Yeah, I mean that, and it's all in line with facilitating growth. That's so it kind of it's a no-brainer really.
Yeah.
For me, like I have the opportunity to do this that I've always wanted to do,
and you're gonna go get trained on the 15 and 16 for vinyl too.
That's right.
That's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
vinyl training. Like after that, it's over, dude.
Yeah, like tell your friends to just close down shop. Like it's done. Angel's here. Yeah. Angel's in town.
But yeah, like
when you go get trained, tell him might as well just give us the shop.
Nah, but yeah, on a serious note, like that would be really cool to like have under my belt, like just to be like a just film vinyl master. Like,
yeah, that's badass. Yeah,
like, I would have no problem doing that every day. Like,
yeah,
especially if it's gonna be like on really cool cars, which typically
it
is.
Yeah, for sure. It's much different than interior cleaning. It's like it's more deliberate. It's more intentional. Like, I want to change the color of my car.
Different target market for sure.
My car.
Yeah, his car. Yeah. So we're gonna for sure hunker down.
Coming soon, July.
We're for sure gonna get down to more practice on different vehicles, more panels, more film, more everything. Like for sure that's gonna happen over the next, call it 30 days. Remember you said it's gonna take us 9 months to offer the services.
Yeah.
I bet you now you're like, nah, bro. Let's roll with it now, dude.
Let's start booking some clients right now.
I already did.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the line wrap. Okay, yeah. That's crazy.
And I feel real confident going into that roof. 100%.
And that's after the rat specialist training. So you're gonna be primed, like ready to go.
If we don't do that,
I'm leaving.
No, but I think that will be for sure it will be the turning point when we do start to book in the jobs and we do start to get the customers.
I mean, we're already getting inquiries about it.
Yeah. So it's like once that all starts like gaining some traction and we start booking in the jobs, I think that's where we're going to get like that, like we're going to be able to gauge of like, okay, this is what it's like to do like PPF on a vehicle. This is what it's like to do like a partial front end and charge,
for sure.
And charge such and such and explain it to at least for you, having more knowledge because you're the one is going to be on the phone and explain to the customer. This is what
I got a lot to learn. Actually, I do.
Yeah.
Like this is
we'll
what
teach
you're
you.
getting.
Yeah.
As if I know anything.
And some customers will have questions for you because most of the people,
I'm gonna just you gotta talk to our lead installer.
And some customers will ask questions because a lot of the clientele inquiring for PPF have done their research. It's not something that like your typical everyday person is gonna know. Oh yeah, I know what PPF is. Like,
The clients for PPF are like specifically. They're looking for PPF.
They're looking for
that.
And they know it. They're not gonna find it anywhere either. Like it's not like I'm going down the street and go to my local PPF installer. Like, that's not how that works. You want to go to like a good reputable shop, which I think we already have that in the area. And it's like, just add PPF to that now. Yeah. Like, you're so
it's not like an engine cleaner period wash. You just add it on. Hey, you might as well. Nah.
So it's like, I think it just worked out perfect. Y'all wanted to move into this direction. Now I mentioned it. Somehow, everything just started falling into place, really. I have like the commitment and drive to want to do it. I can offer the service for y'all. Everyone grows. We all reap the benefits. It kind of just...
we're evolving.
Just played out.
Yeah. This is a great team here.
It kind of just played out, man. Like, I didn't come in here trying to like be like I'm gonna try to convince them to move into PPF. I'm gonna get them to send me out. Like none of that, bro. Everything just 100% played out. I had the interest. Oscar one day was like, "Hey, bro, you want to wrap my front valance?" I was like, "I'll do it." I did it. We started wrapping the walls and everything around here. Hey, you want to go out to train? I was like, I'm down. I did it. We're out here. And hey, you booked a customer in for a roof wrap. We're doing that like in 2 weeks. So it's like, it's just flowing. It's just flowing. There was never we had like this 3-month strategic plan of we're going to send Angel out to training and then we're going to start booking in customers. No, it just happened.
Yeah, that is true. It happened, but with intent for sure. Because and that's a good point because there wasn't like a strategic like, here's a game plan, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. But it was like, okay, since we're gonna offer these services, like on my part, like, okay, I'll go create the service page on the website. Remember, I sent it to you, and you're like, oh, dang, you create. I was like, yeah, they're done. Like they're out there. They're gonna start ranking at some point. Yeah. And then like
they're ranking before you had them up there.
Yeah, and then, so that was intentional. Of like, all right, we're gonna offer them. Like I'm gonna just do them right now, then, right? And then the other intentional part was like, there was no game plan behind it, but I was like, we need more reps. I don't know what that looks like, how many days when we do it, but we just need more reps. Let's start doing that, right? So I started ordering a bunch more film. And then you started talking about the rat specialist. You didn't know he had training. And then I looked at him and then I started clicking. And I was like, hey, he has training here, dude. Yeah. And you're like, for real? Like, do you want to go? And they're like, yes. I was like, all right, I'm going to get the class. Like, you're going to go, right? And then Car Supplies Warehouse, Jason, they came out with their optical line. And then I was like, and he mentioned like you get 2 day or two free training sessions. I was like, Angel, if I get this, like, you can go out over there. So what's it called, like when preparedness meets opportunity, whatever. Like, it all fell through. It all happened because we were intentional about making something happen.
Yeah, like I would be really, 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 really dumb to not take advantage of the opportunity. It's like just like anyone. It's like, okay, why wouldn't you? Yeah. Like, you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're learning something new. Yeah. You're growing.
No, that was really cool that film came out. By
that was
Jason,
actually that's like at the right time.
Where would Angel have gone if it was for another film?
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a place, I won't name it, but there's a place, but it wouldn't have been this. It would have kind of gone back to like the. Yeah. What I was saying. Yeah.
Are you somebody's garage thinking smaller?
Yeah.
Are you avoiding like a company name that you don't want to say? Or what?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who's gonna send it to.
Yeah.
Because I had already spoke to that individual.
Like big company, right?
The big company that recommended me this other company to get trained at, okay. and then I was like, and then I think the next day, Car Supply Warehouse released that video, and I was like, excellent. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's what I was saying because, well, obviously, we were having some issues as far as like how are we gonna get into the PPF industry because of the practices or the unethical practices that they do.
The restrictions,
which actually Car Supply Warehouse talks about a little bit as well in some of their video.
That's why I went with them. Yeah,
and I was like, well, whenever I found out about that, and I was like, well, you know what? I was really thinking like we're not doing PPF. I was like, I think we're just gonna have to stick to vinyl because Oscar doesn't really like you. And I understand him. He doesn't want to follow those like unethical business practices. That's cool. Boom, optical.
They're like, boom. Well, how about this?
It's like, it's kind of like it was kind of like tailored for us. Like we were the target market. Like, oh, are you tired of the big company unethical practices? Well, here's optical. It's like, dude. It just
the right time, because we couldn't have done this last year.
Yeah, we would have been stuck with the whole for sure.
Dang, man.
So
no, that was good. Yeah, for sure. Crazy. All right, I'm excited. Yeah. So do you want to add anything else before we close off?
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Hey, yeah, we do have another channel. Dedicated to vinyl wrapping and probably PPF there as well, kind of.
Stay tuned. Yeah, you will see a lot of content.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, content. Yeah, it's gonna go crazy.
Everything's moving real fast right now.
He's like, whoa.
Life's moving real fast right now.
I can see it moving real fast for you.
But
like, really fast.
He's like, good thing the next training is in Houston. Imagine you have to go back out to Dallas or something. Like, you'd be like, back on the road. Like, let's go.
You're like, I'm gonna try to start a detailing business. You're like, Oscar, woo, snap.
Which is funny because we were really busy last weekend. But
a movie.
Nah, but yeah, it's still there, and I still do detailing on the side. But right now, like my priority is just like I have to master this.
Crazy.
And yeah, just a lot's going on right now. There's a lot of work, a lot of things in the works.
And you're posting content too.
Yeah. Well, all of us actually post. Well, obviously I post content, but y'all two post content too, which is great to see.
Yeah.
I'm always encouraging y'all and trying to help you in whatever way of content. Yeah, that's badass. Yeah,
I might just have to change the name. If I start if I become PPF master, I might just have to change the name.
Angel the PPF installer.
Angel Rat. What is it? Jay the Rat. Angel the Rat Specialist.
Yeah, we'll just see.
The film specialist.
Film specialist.
I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of things in the works, and we're all doing our parts to try to get content out there and start offering the service. So hopefully very soon we will bring that to the internet and us as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's very exciting. Yeah.
Did you want to add anything?
No, we're good. I'm excited.
I think Lex is a little buzzed right now.
I am.
From the shot.
Either that or sleepy.
Probably both, actually.
Yeah, probably both. Need some pre.
Yeah, all right, everybody. We'll end it right here. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you in the next one. Later.
See ya.